this process of discernment of trying to decide like, okay, God, is this what you have for me? Can I actually tithe my career? Is they encounter these challenges with calling. So
Mhm.
they're expecting some crazy lightning bolt moment, like God writes it in the clouds, this goosebump worthy, or, I think about like you're squirting mustard on your hot dog and it squirts it in the shape of a country. Like they're expecting this like supernatural calling because, most people think you need to have this really clear, this supernatural experience to consider moving overseas for a couple years, because that's a pretty radical step.
Mhm.
So God must make it clear to me by something as like equally radical, right? Like some kind of miraculous sign. But really, that's not the way God calls majority of the people in scripture and really in today's world. If that's the only thing that students and goers are really looking for, they're really going to miss out on a lot of the clarity and confidence that God can give them in the next steps. So that to me is definitely a huge surprise. Is they go into this process saying like, okay, Lord, I'm willing to consider and make it super clear to me, and He actually invites them into something different. And what
Mhm.
they learn is calling is so much more about the journey and not just the destination, not just arriving at God, give me a sign. But it's actually in the wrestling of learning more about who God is, learning more about how He's made them, and giving them the opportunity to apply those lenses to what's in front of them, and then to make what I call just a common sense choice, where weighing the needs of the world around them, weighing the uniqueness of their season, weighing the skills and the design that God has created within them, and say, this just makes sense for me to say yes to following God overseas. And when they can kind of get past that initial like surprise of the way the Lord might actually
Mhm.
be speaking to them and working with them, it actually ends up giving them even more confidence in saying yes because they've done the hard work, they've done the diligent work of seeking God in scripture, seeking His face through prayer, receiving the affirmation of their community around them. And those are now all checks they can put, in the checklist of yes, I feel confident that this is something God is inviting me into.